trans people are dumb. You can wear dresses and makeup. Good for you. You can augment your breasts. Go for it. You can even cut off your dong. That doesn't change your gender. You are male. I got hit with this in fucking AFK Arena 6 years ago. And I still have to deal with people like that on Twitter. I have to deal with this on Valorant. People like this still exist and they harass us. And if I stand up for myself and if I speak about being trans, then that's not me getting into the spotlight or, you know, putting the attention on me. And like, if I wouldn't be publicly trans, then people wouldn't harass me. It's like, no, stop blaming me for people like this coming to me and harassing me. You are the problem because you enabled this behavior. If you ever wonder like how I actually like started with like coming out as trans and like transitioning, the thing is like I didn't know what trans was for a really long time. When I was 7, a lot of like girls, they always loved doing like roleplay, playing mom, dad, and child. And because I was male, they put the dad role on me, and I always was like really uncomfortable with that. My actual like egg breaking moment was like when I was like 12 and I realized that I prefer being called she. I started gaming and I played like as for League, and I had like a female character and I got referred to as she, and I'm like really happy. Eventually I was like, I think I was like 14. I learned about like, I don't know, sissy hypnosis, feminization things that are really misogynistic. And it made me like really uncomfortable. Later on, I don't know, with like 16, I learned about like femboys. I was alone at home and I put on my mom's skirt and leggings and all that stuff. And even though like it felt right, I looked into the mirror and I just started crying because like the outfits didn't look right to me, because like I wanted to be like one of the girls. I wanted to be like the character in the games that I used to play. And I kind of like shoved this down because I was like, this will never be a reality and I will always be just like a man, and maybe I'm going to grow out of this phase and can just like live my life. And puberty made things so much worse for me. And then I was like 18 and I learned about like what like being trans was. I was with parts of my family and my half brother was like saying like, there's like this crazy friend who like said that everything about like gender is like socially constructed and all these things. And my dad looked at me and was like, oh, don't bring a woman like that home. And I was like, you know, actually she's kind of onto something. I was learning about what being trans was from people who don't respect trans people, who don't know a lot about like what being trans was. So a lot of it was like misinformation. And then eventually I was like 20 and I was like, oh no, okay, I should have like transitioned with 18. It was just too late for me. I'm just going to accept this and I'm going to like focus on studying. But I couldn't just accept this. This was like a real issue for me. And then with like 22, I started talking about like being trans and like coming out to a lot of people that I knew like from online gaming and stuff. At the time, I didn't really have like a good community, and I downloaded the game AFK Arena. I was hanging out in this game and like I talked to people. I had like 1 or 2 people that I like came out as trans, and they like started publicly shaming me for it and like all these things. And every time I talked to someone in like public chat, they kept like being like, oh, this person's just a catfish. Did you know? I actually learned a lot about like the mind of like transphobic people. I basically got hit with all the things that I now get hit with on Twitter, which is like, oh, you trans people are just doing this for attention. Trans women will never be women. You trans people are like freaks of nature, and like all these things that I got hit with in AFK Arena is like still going on like in other spaces where we get harassed. I got death threats in fucking AFK Arena. I had people tell me that they are going to end my life in AFK Arena in a game that is for 12-year-olds. I showed a screenshot. This is like years ago. I'm 28 now. I had people come into my DMs because like your DMs were always like open. You can't close them. And they were like, trans people are dumb. Honestly, you can suck all the dick you want. You can wear dresses and makeup. Good for you. You can augment your breasts. Go for it. You can even cut off your dong. That doesn't change your gender. You are male. if a geneticist run a blind blood test, you would be labeled a male. My blood test is actually female because of HRT. If an archaeologist found your skeleton, you would be labeled male. No, that's not how it works. I got hit with this in fucking AFK Arena 6 years ago. And I still have to deal with people like that on Twitter just because I'm trans. I have to deal with this on Valorant. This is why I speak out about it, because like people like this still exist and they harass us. And if I stand up for myself and if I speak about being trans, then that's not me getting into the spotlight or, you know, putting the attention on me. And like if I wouldn't be publicly trans, then people wouldn't harass me. It's like, no, stop blaming me for people like this coming to me and harassing me or people like me. You are the problem because you enabled this behavior. I had people like this be like, oh, you should join like the 40% and like whatnot. And then people start like excusing that behavior. And it's like, I know why the statistics are so high. Stop being part of the problem and start acknowledging that what you're doing enables intolerant people to like make our lives a living hell. You saying that we should just like be the bigger person and like just block and move on. It always hurts the victim. It never hurts the abuser. Show them that you don't support what they are doing, like their harassment. Because like if you're like, oh well, just block and move on, you basically tell them that it's my fault for people like that existing. And you're telling that person that they are okay with doing that because nobody stands up for us. And if you don't stand up for us, you're supporting this. That's the reality of the situation. That's what we're dealing with. In fucking AFK Arena!